Hello everyone, thanks for joining my channel. This is Rocky. So today we're going to be talking about beauty. I actually haven't had an opportunity to fully collect my thoughts about how I want to broach this topic today, but I don't know, I've just been feeling some type of way after seeing some things in the media, namely and specifically about a story of a little girl who was getting her hair done by, I guess it was maybe her hairdresser, her aunt. She was getting her hair done and they were just kind of sitting and chatting on some live stream. And during that live stream, the little girl kind of said, in passing, and like this was a normal and common statement, it was okay to say, and she says, "I'm so ugly." And like she was dead serious, she meant it. She was looking at herself in the camera on this live stream and said, "I'm so ugly." And the hairdresser immediately was just heartbroken to hear the little girl say this, and started to, speak light and love into the girl and, just kind of reassure her that she was beautiful, that her skin was beautiful. She had a beautiful smile, pretty hair, all the things that would make, someone feel good about being beautiful. But I personally, being darker skinned and everything and natural hair, heard this little girl say this comment and immediately, regress back. My immediate feeling, my visceral reaction was to immediately regress back to myself as a little girl. I don't know if this, was as big of a thing, if it's as big of a thing now, but, colorism and racism is definitely a thing. And growing up as a little girl when I did, it was definitely not cool or in style to be darker skinned. So I carried that with me. I've carried that with me my whole life. Some days are better than others. The older I get, most days are better than others, and I am very accepting and loving of the skin that I'm in. But other days, not so much, and that's because of all the things that you see and presented in the media, whatever, in print and in movies, film, TV, the words that people use to describe women or other people in general. There's rarely positive adjectives used to describe a woman of color that's not objectifying or that is not negative. So it's really hard to rise above that on your own, rise above that and accept that, you're a chocolate skinned woman and basically the complete opposite of what society accepts or says is beautiful. Blonde hair, I have black hair, pretty much black hair. Blue eyes, I almost have black eyes. So it's like completely no shade of, variation in between there. I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum. And then, fair skin, I am of darker skin. So it's like the opposite of what's considered to be beautiful by mainstream society. So I've personally even had to deal with that, and through affirmations of other people around me who love me, and just self-reflection and self-realization, and just growing the heck up, right? Learning to care less about what others think have kind of pulled me out of that state of mind. But for this little girl, she's 4, actually. She was 4. And I don't even think at 4 I was able to articulate that I felt that I was ugly. So that's even more heartbreaking, that a 4-year-old girl will say I'm so ugly. I still thought I was cute at 4. So I didn't get tainted yet. But yeah, it was soon after that, because I had I remember growing up and having a best friend in kindergarten. So you're about 5 or so in kindergarten, who was I think she seemed to be of mixed race. Later it turns out she's not of mixed race, but she was of mixed race. She had hair down to her tailbone, the fairest skin you could think of, and she was just, and all the boys fawned over her. All the girls wanted to be her and wanted to be her friend. All the teachers showed her favoritism, and I was her wing person, right? We were best friends, but I could kind of see, I could totally feel and see the dichotomy between how people treated her and treated me. And so even though she was unaware of her privilege by having that lighter skin and longer fair, fine long hair and all those things, she benefited from it, and I could right away see that she benefited and I didn't. So it was just something that I had to accept and try not to blame her for it, because she can't help how she looks. She can't help how society responds to her. So those were some of the things. But I saw that Michelle Obama and Viola Davis said some pretty amazing things to her, and I will cut away to show you those words of affirmation. But Michelle Obama basically is saying, you're beautiful despite what society says, because she's of a darker skinned woman, and she's a darker skinned woman and had to deal with that too. And her sitting in the office as the first lady, she had to endure a lot of criticism. And then Viola Davis is obviously complete opposite of what you would think a Hollywood starlet would be, and yet and still she has had success being a chocolate skinned woman. So seeing both of these women say the exact perfect things to this girl was great. And I know she's too young to even understand it right now, but later she'll look back at it and just be able to understand how beautiful and how wonderful it was to have these women lift her up. And then even on the Tamron Hall show, we had Angela Bassett come on and lift this girl up as well. So I know she's too young to understand it, and she probably, I don't even, it was it was almost like it was normal and natural and just ingrained at birth to her to be able to say that at 4, which is just ridiculously sad. But if there was a way that I could tell this little girl something, I would again echo the same things that Michelle and Viola and Angela said to her as well. But I am living proof that that black is beautiful, natural hair is beautiful, and the world will accept you. You just have to accept yourself first. The world will accept what you bring to the table and who you are, and not judge you for it, as long as you don't internalize that and judge yourself. So again, I would love to know what your guys' thoughts are on how society portrays beauty, and what your thoughts on how this little girl at 4 was able to think and say that she was ugly just because of her skin and her hair. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. Hit the like if you like this type of content, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.